As I mentioned a few times ago, we are running very fast this morning, so we'll track down our coaches, but our next coach is with us, the head coach of the Charleston Southern Buccaneers, Jamey Chadwell. Good morning, Coach.
Hey, good morning, Mark. How you doing today?
Doing fine. Congratulations to you all, moving 2-0 in the league, up to number 20 in the coaches poll following the 10-7 win at PC. Back on the road, traveling to Gardner-Webb this Saturday. If you can open up and talk about the victory at PC, we'll start taking questions and talking about the Running Bulldogs.
Well, it was a good one for us. It was a hard-fought game. It was almost like a throwback. I mean, both defenses really played well, and it basically came down to a field position and turnover battle, which you don't see much anymore with all the spread offenses. But we were fortunate enough to be able to make a couple plays there in the fourth quarter. Kyle Copeland came in and gave us just a great spark there on about a 75-yard drive and get us in the end zone. And our defense just put the clamps on PC all game long. I think we held them to 140 yards of offense over that 4 quarters and got some big turnovers there in the fourth quarter and was able to pull it out. I think they do a great job, up there on defense. I think they're one of the best defenses we've seen since in my time here. And to be able to come out with a victory up there on the road, I was proud of our guys to sort of push through that because it was very similar to the game we had here last year and we didn't figure out how to do it and be able to knock it in was nice. And now we got to turn around, go on the road again, where Gardner-Webb's had a lot of success at home, obviously beating Liberty there a couple weeks ago, and their defense is good or is better than PC's. And so it's another challenge for our offense, and then we got to try to figure a way to take care of their quarterback who can make plays with his feet and run, and dual threat guys. So it's going to be another challenge for us, and another great Big South opportunity for us to go down there and try to get a victory.
Thanks, Coach. At this time, we'll start taking questions for Charleston Southern head coach Jamey Chadwell. To ask a question, please press *1 on your phone at any time, or click the Q&A link near the top of your browser. Click raise hand if you join us via the web. And while we wait for questions, Coach, your defense is actually doing pretty well as well. First team in league history to hold 2 conference opponents back-to-back to less than 200 yards. Just talk about how well your unit is playing and just the potential that the group has.
Well, they are playing really well. They took it on themselves each week, not look past and look how we've done in the past, but really try to be the very best we can be this coming week. And they've got this just mindset that they want to not only win the game, but just really try to shut down the opposing, offense. And fortunately for our guys, they've been able to do a great job. We're getting, I think the difference is we're getting some really good play out of our front guys. We said going into the year they were young, but we thought we was the most talented group that we had up there. And I think you're seeing a lot of those young guys start really making a lot of plays, and then that's allowing our veteran guys at linebacker and in the secondary to really be aggressive and be ball hawks, so to speak. And it's been pretty impressive just from the sideline being able to see when you go out there and the confidence they're playing with to know that if they play the way they're capable, that we have the opportunity to really put some clamps down on some opposing offenses. And it's going to get tougher, obviously, as you continue to play better and better teams and more explosive teams. But even myself as the coach, I'm not going to tell you I'd expect them to be this good this early, especially those young guys up front. But that's a credit to our defensive coaches. Those guys have a great mindset over there, and they get those guys to play for each other.
And we're taking questions for Jamey Chadwell. Press *1 on your phone at any time, or click the Q&A link near the top of your browser. Click raise if you join us via the web. And one of your defensive players has been playing pretty well, kind of been the catalyst of your defensive side. Solomon Brown, this week's Defensive Player of the Week. Just his progression from week to week, and have you started to notice him being defended differently?
Well, Solomon has had a great start, obviously, to his career here, redshirt freshman. Solomon, came here about 200 pounds, and hopefully we thought he'd get where he needed to be eventually. I don't think anybody thought he'd be as productive as he is this quick, but he's put in a lot of work. He's a very savvy football player, very knowledgeable of what's going on. A very sharp kid off the field as well. So just one of those guys, if people want, hey, what's a football student athlete look like? He'd be one of those pictures. He's a pretty special kid on and off the field. And I think what people are noticing now, because of some of the plays he's making, is now they're trying to, hey, do I chip him with a back, or do we put an extra guy to him, in some of the pass rush and some of the things that we're doing because of the plays he's making. He was an unknown, obviously being a redshirt freshman here after the past 3 or 4 weeks, is making a lot of plays. And I think more and more people are taking notice as we have to have, a plan to, if people are trying to double or chip and do some different things, that we can, hopefully that'll open up somebody else. So he's going to continue to get better because he's not a kid that any of that's going to go to his head. He's a pretty humble guy, so we're excited about him and really what his potential can be because he's just scratched the surface of it.
And talk about this week's opponent a little bit more, Gardner-Webb. You've seen 2 variances in the last 2 weeks, how they played against Liberty and then their setback at Kennesaw State. But just what do you, how do you still prepare for their talented quarterback and their stout defense?
Well, I think the record don't matter right now. They're still 1-1 in the conference, and they control their own destiny. And I'm sure that's what Coach McCray's telling them. That's what I'd be telling my team. And so they control everything out in front. So we expect, obviously, a very tough game. Last time we went down there, they hammered us pretty well. And so, we've obviously not forgot how bad they got after us there. And so we know, and our offensive players know how tough they are to try to prepare for on defense because of just their nose guard, obviously a special player, but the rest of their guys, with the Birch, the linebacker, Jeter, Cook, they got a lot of really good players, a Toomer in the secondary, a lot of guys that have a lot of experience that make it tough on you. And in most of their games, they pretty much clamp down everybody, as far as points and stuff. I don't know what their points for or points against are, but it's got to be relatively low. So they do a great job of keeping their offense in the games. And doing some good stuff there. Now, with Tyrell, who's improving each week, if you don't tackle him with the first guy, he's got the opportunity to run through you because he's so big and strong. And he's a different dynamic than really anybody that we've seen this year in the games that we've played and what he can do. We've played some guys that can throw and throw pretty good and run a little bit, but he can do both of it pretty well. And so I know our defense is really working hard on trying to figure out a plan to contain him and with the other skill guys they got because the tight end's obviously a good player too, and he can really hurt you. So I think the challenge-wise, this is going into the game is on both sides of the ball probably the biggest challenge that we face because of the schemes they do and what they can do against our scheme. So we're going to have to play our best to come out of there with a win.
All right, Coach, I'm not seeing any more questions for you, so we'll go ahead and let you go. But thanks for joining us, and good luck Saturday.
Thank you very much.
All right.